Welcome to the Fans Edge Sports Show. Talk about the X's and O's. Talk and break down for the success of each team.
Slow your roll.
Whether he has something to do with it or not, we are adding that to the clock.
No team gonna freaking run the ball like that. That's challenging your manhood.
Not too much.
People still remember that.
So look, I don't need to hear anything from you, Mike.
It's been a crazy week for college football.
They value seniority.
When they're looking at the schedule, that's a tough schedule. Go beat everyone.
You already know.
Let's go.
You already know.
What's going on? What's going on? Welcome to the Fans Edge, hosted by your guy Cleveland Mike and also your guy Truther. Also produced by Walt K Disney. And today we bring on a very special guest, man. We want to welcome our guy Gareon Conley onto the show. What's going on, Gareon?
What up, Jeep? In a minute, bro. We got a lot that happened since the summer, man.
Yeah,
a whole lot.
Man. Appreciate y'all having me on again, man.
Appreciate you coming on, man. Appreciate that.
Thank you. Hey, but while I have y'all here, make sure y'all go ahead and hit that like and subscribe button. We got a lot of content coming in on the show and some breaking news as well. So Cam wanted to go ahead and hijack this whole show. So should we start off with that, or do you want to go right into Rivalry Week? Which I would have hit first, Mike.
Man, we might as well get into the game rematch, man. We got Gareon Conley. Yeah, we got Gareon Conley on here, man. You know, he don't know what that feels like. You know what I'm saying? So he's used to being that team up north, man. So I really want to get, you know, that insight from a player, someone who's been in the rivalry, who knows what it takes to beat that team up north consistently, man. How are you feeling after Saturday's matchup?
Man, I'm pissed. I ain't even gonna sugarcoat it or nothing. Like, I'm pissed off. I'm telling people all the time. And then I got people just that I know that's fucking team up north fans talking shit and all that. And like, it's for the games when it comes to that. But then as a player, like, I take it more serious. And losing 3 times in a row, like, I don't understand that shit. And it pisses me off because I know we can be way better than the shit that we're putting on TV or whatever. So it really pisses me off. But it pisses me off to the fact that it's like, it's not even about an X's and O's thing to me. It looks like a toughness, like effort thing. Not even necessarily toughness. I'm not gonna say they not tough. I just feel like somewhere along the line, like, it ain't the same as before. Like, you know what I'm saying? And obviously it's new players, new team, whatever. But I hold them to a standard that I was held to when I was there. You know what I'm saying? Like, I was held to a standard from the previous teams before me too. So, you know what I'm saying? So I feel like I have that right to hold that standard as far as every other former player or coach or whatever.
So I want to talk to you about this because it was kind of reported like at halftime, you know, there wasn't really anybody who was really like talking to the guys or anything. And, you know, it was reported also on the sideline, the only like position coach or only coach on the sideline who was trying to get these guys hyped and motivated was James Laurinaitis. Now, you know, like, players, man, they're around their position coaches all the time. So they kind of take on that identity. Do these position coaches have a role to play in what's going on, the extra toughness, that bringing the intensity, the fight, that dog in them? Because, I mean, to just hear that James Laurinaitis, who obviously we know has been in the game as well, but was the only coach bringing that intensity on the sideline, that's very alarming to me.
Right. Yeah. So I'm big on, like, factual shit. So, like, when I see reports and all that, like, obviously it triggers you or triggers me when I see it, but then I think critically. So I think deeper. Like, I'm not there, so I don't know what's really going on. Right. Like, you get reports, people saying stuff. Reporters are paid to bullshit as well and add a little spark to get drama. You know what I'm saying? So as far as, like, even just the whole past 3 years of losing to them and like the season and stuff, I feel like I would have to be there in the locker room to see how they're training in the off season, to see how they're practicing, see what their culture is, to see. I mean, obviously, like it's something up because we lost 3 years in a row. Like that ain't Ohio State standards, all that. But as far as like reports and all that, I would have to be there to see. But if that were true, that's bullshit because when I was there with Coach Meyer, he put everything on our position coaches. So he had our position coaches accountable for every single person in their unit. We had a thing called Power of the Unit. And I don't even know if they still do it or not. But I know that was big when we was there. I just talked to some kids today about that shit. Like we had Power of the Unit and our position coaches was like our closest coach. Like we were damn near like father and son type like relationship with our position coaches. And he put all that shit on them. And if one of us wasn't performing, obviously he would call it out, but he would dog our position coach in meetings, Coach Meyer, like go at their neck, like just as much as he would go at our neck. And our coach would be on us as well. Like, so if I was the leader of the DBs my senior year, he was on my ass to make sure the unit was held accountable. And then even Coach Mick, like if one of the young guys was late, the me as being the head DB, I would have to come in on Saturdays at 6 a.m. to be with them, like doing shit. You know what I'm saying? So he definitely held the unit accountable and the position coaches accountable like that for real. And they would even make the coaches come in too. Like if we had
that's interesting you say that because we had a space the other day. I mean, was it last summer, Mike? Was it? With Troy Smith, and he was just kind of letting us know, like, he don't know if it's really like an open door policy with old Buckeyes with Ryan Day that y'all can just come in there and pop up and be like, hey, rally up the boys on some like this is how it used to be done type shit. Where it's kind of like Ryan Day, kind of like, you know, like the Woody is kind of just like for them, you know what I mean? Like it's not really like an open door policy. And I don't know if that's true or not. You're a former Buckeye and you have teammates. I don't know if that's the truth. But if it is, I think that's highly alarming coming from Ryan Day, because we spoke about this on our last show where, you know, there was people reaching out that wanted to reach out to Ryan Day, that wanted to basically mentor him because, you know, they seen some habits and some things in him that they thought wasn't conducive to winning Buckeye football. And he kind of felt like he didn't really need the information and blew it off. So, and that person I was told from a very good source was Jim Tressel. So, what do you see from Ryan Day? Because the one thing that I do of me, like I played at a lower level than you, I played in D2, but the one thing that I see that comes from the coaching is just like play to play effort. Like it don't take no talent, it don't take no X's and O's for you to see ball, get ball, and run to the ball and be violent when you arrive. You know what I mean? Like that's just that's a mentality. You'll see trash teams at least lay the wood when they get to the ball. Like we just not. I don't recognize what I'm watching out there, man. I just don't know what's going on, bro. Like,
I feel the same, man. I feel like I talked another like basically like situation with you. I had a source which was a player. The first year they lost to the team up north, that was 3 years ago. So I asked the player, I'm like, bro, what's up? Like, because I didn't really know nobody on the team. He was like the last player I knew on the team. So I hit him up like, what's going on? Like, is it the players? Is it the coaches? Like, I want to know. And he was like, bro, he said it's kind of both, but he said they just don't recruit dogs no more. Like that was quote unquote what he said. He said, bro, they just don't recruit dogs no more. And I was like, damn. And he was a defensive player. And I was just like, that's crazy that he's saying that he's on the field. So if you're on the field and you know that, like you already know, like it's slow. Like it ain't even about to work. If you on the field and you can't even trust that your homie about to have your back, or trust that he gonna do his job, or trust that he gonna go out there and be a dog, like you can't be a defense like that. Like So as far as that, I think the same as what you said. I don't. And then as far as me watching, I don't see it either. But as far as the policy thing that you said, I don't know exactly. Like I said, I go off facts, so I don't know. But I do know, like, it was hard for me to try to get tickets sometimes and stuff like that. Like, I remember, I think what was it? Damn, I forget what game it was. I just remember it was a game, and I was just like trying to get tickets to it or whatever. And they were like, it's a lot of people trying to come. Like, oh wait, I'm like, all right, that's cool. I'm like, I'll even pay for some tickets if I need to. And they're like, oh well, it's still a wait list. I'm just like, that's crazy. Like,
A wait list.
I'm willing to pay still if y'all, but y'all still telling me it's a wait list. And it was like, because Bronny was coming to the game and all this shit, and I'm just like, I don't even care no more. I don't even want to come, bro. But then also, like you said, like the open door policy, I don't see a lot of people there, so it's kind of like, yeah, that looks like it's true, but like again, like I said, I go off facts, so I don't know for sure. But I don't see a lot of former players going back and stuff like that, so I don't know. So,
well, Gareon, I'll ask you this because I mean, we can. Let's talk, like you say, you like to talk factual. You know, the players was asked during their interviews before the game if any former players came in and talked to them, or any former coaches came in and talked to them about the game. You know, back you were at Ohio State. Did any former players or former coaches come talk to y'all while y'all was there?
Yeah, hell yeah. I seen that tweet too. Like, that's if they're not having people come talk to them about the game and shit, like I don't understand that. It was definitely people coming in. There was people coming in like just for any other game too. Like we would always have guest speakers come and talk to us, former players, and then for the game, we definitely had people coming in. I remember C Grant came and talked to us one year. He got everybody hyping that motherfucker.
That's exactly what we said. Need to come in there, bro.
He definitely need to go in there for sure. Yeah,
shout out C Grant.
He came in there and talked to us one year about the game. But yeah, they definitely had players come in and talk to us. And then I think it even goes back to like, I think they be talking like about little things and they be blowing it out of proportion. But then I also think there's two ways you can take things always, you know what I'm saying? So what they were saying about the quarterback, McCord, he's saying it's just another game and all that. And they were trying to say like, oh, he shouldn't have said that. And then there was people saying like, oh, he didn't mean it like that. But it's just like, as an Ohio State Buckeye, as an Ohio State quarterback, even if you didn't mean it, you should just know like, I can't be going on there saying shit like that because it's that important. You know what I'm saying? And he's young. He's a new quarterback. All right, you made a mistake. Maybe you can make up for it, but it's just like at the end of the day, you still held to the highest standard as an Ohio State quarterback, bro. You know this game means the world to Ohio State fans, the Ohio State Foundation, the Ohio State tradition, Ohio State Buckeyes in general, all former players, whatever. It's not just another game, bro. Like they talk about the fucking game before you even get on campus when you recruit it. Like when we get in there, there's a fucking clock just for this game. There ain't no clock for no other game in the fucking weight room all around the fucking facility. Like we do team up North workouts every week. Like that's the hardest workout besides like the winter workout finishers and shit. Like that's the hardest finisher of the fucking program. Like it means a lot to the damn program. It's not just another game. So the fact that he said it is like, yeah, you can take it either way, whatever. But as far as I look at it, as the Ohio State quarterback, it ain't just another game. As me watching it, and I already played in it, but I'm not even there. It's still not another game to me. You know what I'm saying? So I think people just need to be held to a higher standard. And I think it just needs to be more transparency, clarity, and uncomfortability. I don't even know if that's a word, but players need to be more and put in more uncomfortable situations. Like shit just need to be amped up for sure.
I think that we need a little bit of that old school Trussell, playbook where I don't know if Ryan Day is doing what he needs to do to make sure that we are getting all the dogs from the home front into Buckeye uniforms.
Like recruiting?
Yeah, like I don't know if the relationships with Ohio State and Ohio high schools are the same. It's crazy that I just see kids that we didn't want going to other schools looking more coached up, looking more physical, and they from right up the road, and they was a 3-star, and we star chasing for the next guy, and then I'm watching the tape and I'm just like, okay,
false advertising, man.
Yeah, like okay, like this, I'll be like, okay, this kid's in Texas, but he got spring ball, he got 7-on-7s. He's more towards the finished product than this kid in Ohio who from the inner city, he raw, don't got no resources, ain't got all that same shit. Like we could work with him. He's a dog. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I just think that we've just been too into that. Like we need to be more locked in on who's from Ohio we can get at Ohio State, because I think that the backbone of our program is always going to be players from Ohio that, you know, that shit means something to them, bro. No, not knocking national players. I'm not knocking no national players. I'm just saying I don't know if Ryan Day really values the soil the way he should.
I agree on that. It's crazy because everything you said is literally shit I be talking about damn near every week with players that because I train out here in Houston, and I be telling them, bro. I be telling them straight. I be like, y'all ass, like y'all not good. Like I be like, my high school whoop y'all ass. Like I ain't no bullshit. And they be thinking Texas football used to be really like that. Like I remember watching highlights of shit. I remember it used to be like that. I think they're living off the past now. And they're not that good. Like there's teams that are still really good, like the Duncanvilles, the North Shores, and all that shit. I can tell you every school in my area is ass. I done watched every school. I done train players, they ass. And I tell them straight to their face, y'all ass. Like they're not like that, bro. And it goes to say because of exactly what you said. I explained it to them. Y'all have spring ball. They have I train at the schools. Like the schools just be open. Like to anybody can go to them. There be hurdles out there, dummies and shit. I'm like, bro, in Ohio, one, we don't have spring ball. You can't put pads on until August. And our fields are closed after school. If it ain't no practice, you ain't going to no field and doing nothing.
Right. You gotta go to the park around the corner. Like, in the mud and all that.
And then I'm training, so I find out that there's at least like 5 trainers within 10 miles each direction, like of doing the same shit I'm doing. My cousin just moved out here in May. He's a football trainer. He's the one who actually got me to want to train. Because when I would go back to Ohio, he'd be training kids, and I would just pull up to his workouts and just see him and like help out, give any advice or whatever. And I was like, man, I want to do this in Houston. And then, but besides him, he was the first football trainer I knew in Ohio, and he was only doing like D-line running backs and stuff like that. So I was just like, bro, we don't even have trainers in Ohio for football like that. Like they're starting to pick up now. But I'm like, bro, we didn't have all that shit. We don't have spring ball. We don't have like coaches doing 7-on-7 and all this shit. They're starting all this shit now. But I'm like, bro, leading up to what y'all had, like y'all should be dominant. And then, like you said, as far as like the tradition or like knowing like the rivalry and shit, you'll get a kid from Texas or California every now and then that just rare that understands and just is a dog, like JT, for example. Like he from Texas, but he just had that dog. He was a leader and he understood like what he needed to do to become like a real Buckeye and to hold that tradition. But you really got to get those kids from Ohio, like you said, like that just know and that breed that shit and that want to be a part of that shit. Like, because they know how that struggle is. Like, it means something more to Ohio players for sure. I know from my perspective for sure.
Yeah. I wanted to read this to you. I guess this is a quote by Urban Meyer. When I see people giggle about how we don't wear blue in here, I don't laugh about it. We don't have blue pens in here. That's not funny. This is like Nike versus Adidas. This is Coke versus Pepsi. This is Ohio State versus that team up north. This is our livelihood. So if you're new to the program, welcome to the program. Understand where you're at. This is not a game. This is not silly. This is a way of life. There's a bunch of former players in the back of the room that lived it. As you move up, you live it. This is who you are. You never lose to those pricks ever, ever. And you work it every day. And I don't give a shit if you're from California or Texas or whatever. As soon as you say you're a Buckeye, this is part of your life for the rest of your life. And you don't lose to those pricks. You beat them every day. By Urban Meyer.
That's crazy.
Does that sound like you? Does that sound familiar?
Hell yeah, man. Shout out Coach Meyer, man. I love that dude, bro. I don't care what anybody says about him, bro. He's the GOAT. Like that dude, he showed me how to be a leader. He showed me how to be a man more than I already knew. And he just showed me how to just be a dog even more than I already was, bro. Like him, Coach Mick, Coach Combs, every coach on the staff that year or those years that I was there. Coach Fickle, like the whole strength staff, Coach Mick, Coach Parker, like he just knew like how to win, bro. And he did anything he could to win. But he did it the right way. You know what I'm saying? Like he wasn't no snake or nothing. Like he did everything the right way to try to win. And even if he made mistakes, like he always was honest about it and he just was trying to win. Like that's the only thing. He was just trying to win and be a dog. Like I fuck with Coach Meyer, man.
Well, in the game, I want to say this: best damn media right here. Meet myself, Cam, Ryan, Q.
Yeah.
We have been talking about the weakness of this defense for a very long time, which has been the linebackers. We've taken a lot of flack from the beloved Buckeye Nation, has went in on us about it, but you saw that in the game, they were the marks in that game, right? And I just don't understand what's going on. What's the issue with this linebacker room? Because like me, myself, Cam, we know that a guy named CJ Hicks, who's from Ohio, from the state of Ohio, who understands and knows what it means, is sitting right there and is twitched up, is a linebacker, second year in the program, right? But we saw a guy, and this man has played linebacker majority of his life. We see Darren Lee, who was a quarterback.
Yeah.
You know, and then as a redshirt freshman, is a dog out there at linebacker. But like you said, that mentality, them different dogs that you had on the field. And it just baffles me to see what we saw on the field from the linebacker position when we know we got other athletes there. What do you feel about the linebacker position, what you was watching Saturday?
I mean, I ain't even just gonna single them out. I think it's a whole defensive thing. But like the linebackers, I feel like you said, it's just you gotta really be a dog to be a linebacker. Obviously, D lineman and like every position, but I feel like linebacker is like a DB and a D lineman all in one. And you're going downhill. You got to be setting the tone. You got to be reading. You got to be one of the smartest people on the field. Like it's just a lot that comes with it, and then mentally and physically. So I feel like they definitely got to be dogs. I feel like the tackling just was poor on both levels. Missing gaps, reading gaps. I think it's just a whole defensive thing because the defensive backs are missing tackles too. Their eyes are bad. Like, and I'm looking at them more so than the linebackers. Like, but I feel like it's just a whole defensive thing. Not even.
It just looked like they were just playing not to make a mistake. Like I felt like they got. I feel like the coaching message. I saw Zach Smith say this. The difference between Urban Meyer and Ryan Day, and he said he didn't know if this was a bad thing or a good thing, but Ryan Day coaches mental focus and not making mistakes. That's like his main message, just like not making mistakes. And he said Urban Meyer's whole message to his team in games was maximum effort.
Yeah, play fast,
going full speed, just just going for it, like every play, snap the whistle, just going for it. I feel like we have a team that thinks a lot and that's taking on the personality of Ryan Day, because I feel like Ryan Day's very anxious. So our quarterback looks anxious. Our defense look anxious. That makes the coaches anxious. So they start coaching anxious because they know the things that make Ryan Day tick and things that make him don't tick. And I just think that our whole team is just taking on this energy from Ryan, and it's starting to seep into every little thing into the program, to even the type of kids that we recruit. Like, I don't even know, like a C Grant. Would a C Grant get a scholarship from Ryan Day? Being how he is, being rough, being rugged. Do inner city kids that come from situations where you don't got parents that could take care of you, you may need a little guidance, you may need a little something, but they got that dog in them. Is Ohio State the program for those kids with Ryan Day as the leadership? Does Ryan Day want to mentor these kids that need that? Because a lot of those kids that we see got we look for the NFL parents, we look for a lot of kids. We don't get a lot of city kids, we don't get a lot of kids from certain situations that's coming on, and it's private, like, okay, like, you know what I mean? Like we get a lot of private school.
You don't want nobody that's rough.
Like, and I'm not knocking that. I'm not knocking that at all, because I mean, there's some dogs that come from those environments as well. But it just seems like we kind of go out of our way to fix, to protect the locker room, or like they want a certain type of guy, and I just think that just created an environment of comfortability and niggas being, feeling like they arrived and wearing the fuck like the dude from Michigan, like,
entitled niggas,
like, I mean, that was corny how he wanted to hate on a drip, bro, like, cause we get your NIL up, bro. Don't worry about the fuck Marv wearing, but
he picked the wrong dude to be saying that,
like, bro, don't worry.
But I understand what that concept is like. people that just worried about the wrong shit for sure.
I just don't know if Ryan Day's that guy. I don't know if he's pursuing that type of kid. I don't know. If he's
I think
it's kid. Like
it's just a matter of like somebody going in there and actually evaluating the situation. You know what I'm saying? Because at the end of the day, we don't know what's going on. Like it could be the whole opposite. You know what I'm saying? Until somebody really find out. But like you said, just finding out what is the problem. Like, is it the recruiting? Is it the coaches? Is it the players? Like finding out what the problem is. Obviously, I hope they are finding out themselves, like inside the facility, whether we know or not. But for us to know, like we just would have to be there and know, because it could be a matter of things, like you said. It could be we're not recruiting dogs. It could be because we're not recruiting players from Ohio. It could be because Coach Day isn't a dog itself. It could be the position coaches aren't dogs. Like it could be so many different things. But I know one thing, like forget all the coaching, forget all like everything else. I know from what I'm watching that there ain't enough dogs on the field. I know that for sure. Like, because the shit that I'm seeing is just, it pisses me off. Like, and I'm a DB, so like when I watch games, I particularly watch DBs, and I can just say, like, for instance, I know at least 2 plays from this year and 2 plays from last year where the DB had their eyes in the wrong spot and then looking at man, and it resulted in a big play. And then I know 2 plays for sure where there was just like, you get them on the ground, we live to play another down, and it missed tackle and we give up a touchdown or a big ass play that ends up leading to a score. Like that's just dog mentality. That's just being a person that's just locked in, like mentally and physically. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't matter if you make a mistake. Like you said, Coach Meyer, he coached us on relentless effort. Like that's all he cared about. Like at the end of the day, yeah, you got to prepare, you got to know your shit, but there's going to be hella shit that goes wrong in the game. As long as you playing fast, make a mistake at 100 miles an hour, we can fix it. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, what is he preaching as well? Like that's something that has to be evaluated too. Like at the time when you're in Ohio State, you're a college kid. So when you hear stuff, you like low-key think it's corny, you know what I'm saying? But as I am today, like I say shit that Coach Meyer says, like whether I thought it was
that shit hitting now. I get it.
Like, relentless effort. He would just say shit like relentless effort, 4 to 6, A to B, like fast as shit, like all this shit, power of the unit, like competitive excellence, like all that shit. I'm like, man, shut up when I'm there. But I'm believing in this shit because we're winning. You know what I'm saying? We're doing it.
Right.
We got dogs out here. And now I'm preaching this shit to the players that I train because it works. You know what I'm saying? So it's like a matter of what is he really teaching and preaching? Like, what is he instilling? Like, is it that what you said? Like he's coaching them to not make mistakes, or is it like, is that the thing? Like, don't make mistakes. Like, what is the motto? What are we teaching? What are we saying every day in the facility? Are we saying anything? You know what I'm saying? Are we instilling anything, or is it just like come to practice and go home? Like, it has to be evaluated for real.
Because Mike, you told us with Jim Knowles, you quoted him. I don't have the exact quote, but he told us we expect to see a lot of CJ Hicks out there, and if CJ Hicks isn't making plays and if he's not playing, that's on me as a coach.
Yeah.
And we're still hearing that he don't know the defense. That's what they tell us. See, these days, bro.
And it's later in the season that he don't know the defense.
Well, he said, I mean, that's what they said last year, and that's what they're saying this year. But I don't understand why we need 2 linebackers to call the defense. Like he knows.
But he also
he's like
he's
also
the same coach that said that if a guy isn't able to catch on to the defense, then he's teaching it wrong. Right. And Gareon, like, talk about this. Like, could you imagine being on the team that you were at Ohio State and the best player not playing? Or like right now, because I just feel like we got so many.
Hold on. Not just not playing. The position he's not playing in is not good.
Yeah,
like, not like he got other good. Yeah,
because I feel like it's different when if a young guy's out there, he's making mistakes. But when you got the veterans out there who just don't look like dogs, making the same mistakes over and over, what can that do to a team?
Oh, that'll fuck your whole team up for sure, especially in defense. But are you saying like because I had asked this on Twitter, I think somebody had posted something. Is there players that like should have been playing? Because like I didn't really watch the season. I don't really watch the season. I just be watching the big games.
Man, listen,
so it's like I don't know nothing about like who's who and who's what. I mean, obviously I see people come in and make plays, but it's like who should have been playing.
Well, I guess let's frame it this way, right? Because you watched Raekwon McMillan come in as a 5-star as a freshman, and you watched them rotate him in. And in those earlier in the year, you saw him make those mistakes, but it was on the game film, and he was able to clean those up. And then when we got later in the season, those big games, you saw Raekwon McMillan making big time plays. Right. Our issue is we feel like we have that right now sitting on the bench, but he is not rotating in to get any type of game reps. You know, we saw him the one time he got in a cupcake game or whatever. You know, at the end, he made those mistakes, but we know he's going to make those mistakes early, right? The whole point is to get it out so you can coach it up so they don't make it in the future. And it just seems like we're not seeing that. Like I remember seeing a Von Bell getting out there. You know what I'm saying? Like we're not seeing that.
Yeah. No, the best players always play, no matter what grade you was in or how old you were. Like that's definitely Coach Meyer's motto. So if that's the motto there, then that ain't gonna work. Because like you said, if you got veterans that ain't doing what they're supposed to do, then they're just setting a bad example for the team, like for the young guys too. And then you got the young guys that aren't getting reps and getting experience, like you said, to even know. So then by the time they become veterans, they already fuck ups. You know
See, look, Gareon, we in a different era than you, bro. Look, it ain't no sit down and be mad. I'm in the portal.
Yeah,
gone.
Like, that's what I'm saying. It's wild. Because back then you could transfer like that.
That's what I'm saying. Now it's just like CJ Hicks. If he hit the portal, what can you say to him?
Yeah,
he watched Boys with Cheese. We watched. He's going to be a junior.
He's about to be. Hold on. In 2024, he will be a junior. And he was a 5-star.
I can count on both hands how many snaps he played. Probably.
That's crazy.
That's sad.
That's wild, man.
That's crazy.
And mind you, he didn't look like he was triggering the best against the run because he took a lot of cheese. But that's just reps, right?
Right.
Like in-game reps, seeing it and getting used to it. But pass pro, dude was lights out. And every time he met the ball carrier, he met it with violence.
Yeah.
I ain't heard pads crack from our linebackers all season until Gabe Powers, CJ Hicks get in the game. These two young sophomores, and they'll just see somebody in a hole, and you just hear it. Like, man, I ain't heard that.
Yeah.
It's them. So it's like, bro, like that's what we need. Like, man,
that's what I'm saying. It's like it looks like it's just
frustrating.
a whole team thing, bro. It's not even just players. It's not even just coaches. Like you said, if a dude is messing up, at some point, a coach got to take responsibility. But like, I got to get him off the field. I got to put somebody in there because at the end of the day, if he making hell of mistakes, I'm definitely gonna put a young guy in that's fresh, like to go out there and he can make the same mistakes that one dude doing, but at least he's playing hard. You know what I'm saying?
And he's better. And he's more athletic or whatever. But
yeah, I definitely understand that.
So what is your opinion on Michigan moving forward? Do you think that team up north? Do you think that they have the team to win a national championship? Do you think that they can go beat a Georgia? I don't know how much college football you've watched to have an opinion on these teams, but do you think they can go out and win a playoff game and win a national title this year?
Yeah, I've watched like some games. I'll be watching highlights, and then I'll watch some like film breakdown. Zach's podcast. I feel like there's no team that's just dominant right now. So I feel like the team up north, which is disgusting for me to say, but I think they could win a national title. That's crazy. I think they could, but I don't even see a team that's just like dominant. I feel like there's a couple teams that could. I feel like Georgia could. I even feel like Washington could like pull off something. You know what I'm saying? Like Florida State, I feel like they could pull off. I think the rankings, because I seen some shit about the rankings. I think we were 6 now.
Yep.
Then who was 5?
5 was Oregon, and they play
Washington. Oregon, yeah. And then the top 4
Mm-hmm.
teams. I agree with the top 4 rankings. I feel like you can put any of them at 1 through 4, and then I feel like Oregon would be ahead of us, and I feel like we're at the right spot because we lost. I feel like any of those teams could win a national title. Honestly, I don't think there's no team that's just shown dominance this year. Like I feel like Georgia last year was just it was lights out. Like, but I feel like this
we almost beat them.
Yeah.
Like,
I'll say this, bro. You almost lost to freaking Kyle McCord. Like at home, 6 points, bro. I don't see them winning no natty, bro.
Gareon, I ain't gonna lie to you, bro. That all 22
I don't know, bro.
That all 22 with Kyle McCord was nasty.
It really
bro. We
was,
should have
bro.
really whooped their
Yeah,
ass.
I gotta watch it.
But we can't say that. You know what I mean? Because then we sound like bitches. It's like,
Yeah.
That's the thing, though. It's
like
the shit that it's just our society just gets soft, bro. Like the shit can't be like real no more. Like we talking shit about. I mean, you don't just bash a player and like tear him down, but it's like if you playing like shit, you need to be told you playing like shit. You need to be told to step the fuck up, especially as the quarterback at Ohio State, especially as any player at Ohio State. Like we are held to a high standard. We are held to a national championship standard in every play that we step on the field, bro. So if you playing like shit, you need to be told that. It needs to be a balance of when you're told it to show you what to do or tell you what you're doing wrong to get you to do it right. But you need to be told that shit. It don't need to be, oh, they're being too hard on us. You're just a trolling fan or you're just like, no, it needs to be told. Like the shit needs to be real.
Do you think that I don't Mike, do you feel like Ryan Day and the team was open with Kyle McCord to tell him that you're playing like shit? Do you think they have that type of culture to where they can talk to each other that way?
There's no way. There's no way, bro.
You gotta have, bro. To have a culture where you could tell each other that you play like shit or you look like shit. That has to come from the top, bro.
So I'll tell you why we know
the head coach has to have that respect from his players for them to say you look like shit, right? And then that respect is gone to is given to the assistant coaches that has that respect from the coach to, you know what I'm saying, to go on and go on. Then you have the captains, and then you have the position leaders in the groups, and it's just like a coach starts from the top to the bottom.
Program, man.
Exactly. So if the head coach is kissing ass and being soft, that's gonna go down to the assistants, and that's gonna go down to the players, and now everybody just being quiet and talking shit, and then you get a pussy ass locker room.
I was about to say,
man,
and that's what makes it worse.
Bro, I'm telling you, bro.
That's what makes it worse because if you're not addressing shit, that's when you get some people that want to address something. Shit get brushed under the rug, and then shit just start to point fingers, or shit just get to not getting fixed. It fuck up everything, bro. If you ain't transparent.
Well, speaking of that, I mean, I'll say this: I know it wasn't getting addressed for head down by the head coach, because Ryan Day would come out and say, oh, when I talked to Kyle, he told me, you know, he said the right things. Okay, he's saying the right things every time is what you're saying, but he's never doing the right thing ever. But then also we got to talk about it, because I noticed it earlier in the season, actually kind of middle of the season or before the bye week for sure. I noticed it in the Notre Dame game, and then after, I also noticed it in other games, like when he threw the ball at Chip Trainum's foot on a swing, on a little screen pass. Like I could see the frustration in his face. You could see it in Chip Trainum, the running back, running back too. I saw the frustration in his face. You go and you see the game. You can see the frustration on Julian Fleming when he's like, I'm open, expecting the ball to be there in the pylon, out and checked it down and cased over. Like you can see the frustration on. I seen the frustration in Mars' face when he's wide open. He turns around and the ball is like 5 yards away from him, and he just like, come on, what are we doing? Like, and then everybody wants to talk about, well, oh, Marv's not fighting for this and not fighting through this. Does that not have an effect on the player as well? On why they not fighting through stuff?
Hell yeah. That definitely, I mean, if you see shit like that, definitely, like, that just means shit ain't getting addressed. That's exactly what that means. That mean, like, man, this nigga suck, or man, he tripping, or man, they need to put somebody else in, or that's just signal saying shit like that, or it's just saying like we need to fix something. Like, we need to talk about it. We need to address this shit, because if it's body language on the field, I seen some coach talking about body language the other day. Like, the body language tells everything, like you said. Like, you can see that shit. It's frustration. And then it's like, if there was a time where it was addressed and all that shit, I don't think you would see that frustration. They would just talk about it on the sideline and then fix it. You know what I'm saying? If it just keeps happening, this frustration, that means the shit ain't getting addressed for sure, or ain't getting addressed the right way.
Just lost a 5-star recruit today.
Who
got flipped? Justin Scott, defensive lineman to Miami. Yep.
With I got a question. So I heard that McCarthy was from Ohio.
So here's the story about JJ McCarthy. Here's the story about JJ McCarthy was locked in with Ohio State and wanted to push back his commitment date. Apparently, allegedly, wanted to push back his commitment date to commit to Ohio State. And he asked Ryan Day, like, "Hey, I'm the guy. I'm locked in with Ohio State." Ryan Day, I don't know, said yeah or whatever. Then he just tells JJ, like, "Hey, I want to bring Kyle McCord into the class." And then JJ is like, "Fuck that!"
Like saying he want to bring him in the same year as
him. Like JJ,
that was just,
JJ was like, "Fuck that!" So he went to the ops up north and been whooping ass ever since.
That's kind of what I did.
Like,
that's what I did, low key.
Yeah, he was like, "Yo, like y'all bringing somebody else in, like you trying to sugarcoat it, like you don't think I'm him." So, all right, but
I was low key the opposite.
So
I was committed to the team up north.
And that's just go ahead.
I was just about to say I was committed to the team up north, and they was like threatening to pull my scholarship and shit. So I'm like, shit, I'm about to go to Ohio State, whoop y'all ass.
Yeah, they got a lot of players like that up there, bro. A lot.
Yeah, they do. Man. But I mean that takes us into kind of Ryan Day's like evaluation, right? Because JJ obviously looked like a way better quarterback than Kyle. Being able to extend the drive or extend the play using his feet, something that Kyle McCord has lacked all season, right? And so obviously you're like, okay, you should have picked JJ over Kyle, right? But then also we got to go back to this quarterback battle that happened this offseason between Kyle McCord and Devin Brown, because I hear a lot of people saying, oh, well, when Devin Brown got in the game, we saw bad throws by him as well. But we also saw some throws that showed that, Devin Brown might got some it factor to him. He can also stretch the ball or stretch the field vertically as well. And it's like Kyle McCord was making those same bad throws, same bad decisions, but he got the opportunity to start and work on that in the game. But Devin Brown didn't, and you said this was a real quarterback competition going into the games. But we never seen Devin Brown get the same chance that Kyle McCord did. But you did see Nick Saban. How did Jalen Milroe get better? Because he said, "Oh, Jalen Milroe, you ain't doing it."
Quarterbacks.
he said, "You ain't starting this week." Started another guy, right? That's not getting done. Started another guy or whatever, and then boom. Next thing you know, you see Jalen Milroe. He's getting better and better and better every week.
But we've seen
Kyle be consistently mid the whole time and not get better. Have you ever seen a quarterback from Ohio State just not get better week to week?
No, never. And then, like you said, the shit with Nick Saban, that's just because he real. He like, man, fuck that. I'm addressing this shit. If you ain't gonna play, somebody else gonna go in. And then the dude who's playing, you ain't doing your shit, I'm gonna put somebody else in. Like showing, like, I don't need you. Like, you need to want to be here. You need to show that you deserve the spot. You know what I'm saying?
I'm gonna say this, bro. Zach Smith told us that he had a source that said Devin Brown far and away outperformed Kyle McCord in camp. And then Ryan Day comes out 3 weeks into the season saying that it's a neck-and-neck battle. So Kyle McCord and Devin Brown, we got two NFL quarterbacks, blah, 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 right? They say Zach Smith don't got any sources. He's full of shit. Fuck Zach Smith, right? He's a wife beater, blah, 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 all that shit that they do. Dave Biddle doubles down on it and says, my source as a beat personnel with access to the Woody, I'm hearing that Devin Brown also outperformed Kyle McCord. Out of Pete. No one said nothing, right? That just went over everybody's fucking head. So fast forward through the season, we have a quarterback who's year 3 in the system, struggling against Indiana mightily, my ad. And we don't see Devin Brown get a fucking snap of meaning against them except for 3 handoffs, right? And we just let Kyle look like shit. Then the next week comes out, Ryan Day's like, you know what? It's still a battle. We're waiting on so all this bullshit. We're guys are battling out, blah blah blah. They're both gonna play. They give Kyle the first 6 drives to get it in rhythm, to do all this shit, and then they give Devin 1 drive to put Kyle back in, and then put Kyle back in for 2, and then let Devin finish the next 2. It just seemed like to me, and I'm not a conspiracy theorist. I love Ohio State. This is my moniker that I tell niggas. I care about Ohio State more than I give a fuck about the coaching staff. Yeah. So I'm loyal to the Block O. I don't give a fuck who's coaching or what. If the shit ain't right, shit is ass, shit is ass. Ohio State's gonna be there when we're all dead and gone. I don't give a fuck. It looked like to me that Ryan Day was protecting Kyle McCord's ego, protecting Kyle McCord's mental, and was purposely shielding him from any type of public scrutiny with a quarterback battle in person, because it seemed like to me that he was petrified of Devin Brown going out there and showing those flashes that we've been hearing in camp about him on the second team, absolutely stroking the first team defense with Carnell Tate and Brandon Ennis and all those freshmen that we heard were fucking dogs, like Jelani Thurman, all these freshmen that don't get fucking snaps that we've heard were the most talented person on the offense. Like, we've heard this all camp, and then we don't see these kids, and it's just like, it don't make no sense, bro.
Yeah.
So what
was the skill players' demeanors, Cam, when Devin Brown got out there? Tell them, Cam. Bro, how was their demeanor?
Man, I just know, hey, bro, Gareon, like you play football too, man. Like, there's no way that your team is out there excited as fuck when 6 is out there taking that snap with that fucking low energy, no fucking leadership, bullshit ass body language. Like, that shit is ass, bro. I do not want my quarterback looking like it's just another day on a Saturday. Like, there's a difference between being stoic and focused and just being like weak.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like,
I know what you mean,
weak, bro. Like,
being a fucking dog, man.
Yeah. Like, I don't know, man. I just feel like Ryan Day really fucking up. I feel like he's losing the fan base. I feel like beforehand he always had a Justin Fields, a Dwayne Haskins, a CJ Stroud that was good enough to overcome the coaching, that was good enough to carry the weak ass defense, that was good enough to carry lazy receivers, that was good enough to carry niggas that don't want to tackle because they were so uber talented. Now we got a thumb at quarterback, and the shit is starting to come out. Come out. Now there's nobody to put in front of the band-aids and the shit that we've been seeing for years about toughness, about being hard, about being mentally strong. Now the shield coming off of Ryan Day. So I don't know, man. Sorry that I was long-winded, but I just
you had to get that off your chest, bro.
Yeah, man. I hate seeing my team like this, bro, because I grew up on Trestle ball, bro. Like, I watched John Cooper. I was younger, but like I was born in 91, but like I watched John Cooper all year where we had 5-star after 5-star after 5-star and just get our ass whooped by Michigan. And it's the same shit. I'm seeing the same shit.
Yeah.
Honestly,
like,
it was a quarterback. It was a quarterback decision that messed us up in 96 or whatever, when we was actually probably supposed to go play for a natty. Stanley Jackson, the team, I mean, you still have players to this day who play with Stanley Jackson who say they don't know why Cooper did not play Stanley Jackson and win with Joe Germain in that game. Yeah. Because we lost that game.
Stanley
they don't know.
Family too.
Huh?
That's my family. He married to my cousin.
See? Yeah. I mean, I still to this day, I'm telling you, those players still to this day don't know the reason. They don't understand it. And I just don't understand when I'm seeing the body language from these players, when I saw them, how hyped and all the juice that Devin Brown brought when he got out there. It was like the players the energy that I saw was like, this is the guy who they wanted to be the quarterback.
Yeah, like, finally, damn.
Yeah. And I mean, just look at what he did, like throwing the dart down to Brandon Ennis and allowing him to be able to make plays, hitting him in stride, throwing the back shoulder or whatever to Carnell Tate. We just seen him just try to do a back shoulder
Yep.
or whatever the case over it. It was
Yep.
almost interception. It wasn't even a back
Yeah.
shoulder.
Yep.
Like you got the guy who can make the throws on the roster, but you didn't allow him to work through those issues the same way you allow Kyle. And I just think that that's BS on your evaluation. And you're supposed to be a QB guru.
Yeah, that's crazy. Yeah, I seen a lot of plays too where, I mean, I ain't no quarterback, but I'm looking. I know how to read coverages because I play them, and I know how to read offenses and know where the fucking ball supposed to go. There's a lot of plays where the ball should have went to different spots, and I'm just like, bro, why you ain't throwing it here? He wide open. Then you throwing, like you said, throwing it to Cade on the back shoulder. I see the nigga on the left side open. Like, why you throwing it to him? I remember it was a play where they ran. I think they ran stops on the left side. It was Marv, and it was I forget who was at number 2 on the left side. They were both open, wide open. It was like a third down. I think he threw it to the right, and I was just like, bro, they were both wide the fuck open up top. Like, what are you doing,
bro? Let's just say what it is, man. We ain't the same, bro. We weak as fuck. Weak.
No, it ain't the same. It definitely ain't the same. Like I said, whatever the reason is, I don't know. I don't know what it is. I don't know what's going on. But like I said, the only thing that's factual is that it ain't enough dogs out there, and it ain't the same. Like, I know it ain't the same. It's not going to be always exactly the same, but it should be similar, like the same energy. You know what I'm saying? Like,
do you feel
for sure?
Yeah. So one thing, I kind of heard like about, when Urban Meyer was there and Coach Mick Marotti was there, like they were talking about the player-led teams, right? Like Coach Mick had identified very early in Paris Campbell and them, like they were going to be the change in that wide receiver room and things like that, like player-led. Like, can you talk to us about when you were on the team, those guys who were player-led, or when y'all was playing like shit, those guys who was like, no, you got me fucked up and humbled y'all, brought y'all back to reality, and y'all come out in halftime and kick some ass. Like, talk about like those big games, like the Michigan State games, all of those big games where we was tight. How was that player led?
Yeah. So I know as far as like my freshman year, there was a lot of kind of like bullshit going on as far as like leadership and stuff. So that's why I think, the year going into the Natty, obviously that's how we won. The year going into the Natty year, that was the hardest offseason I ever been through in my fucking life. Like, shit was crazy. And that was when we did the leadership training and all that shit. Like, we took time during training camp, all that, to do actual leadership training. And I was a redshirt freshman at the time, so I still was like kind of young and immature. So I wasn't really taking it serious. But like I said, when I hear all the shit, it's like all the shit you hear that you think is corny or whatever, that's what sticks with you. Like, when you fail a test, like that's when you learn more shit. Like, it's all shit like that. So that was like the year where it really started to pick up as a player-led team and like the culture, because they just kept putting it on us. Like I said, they started doing they did the power of the unit shit before, but it just felt like everything amplified. Like, the power of the unit was like basically like a player type thing. Like, it was put on our coaches, but coaches put it on us. So it was basically like the leaders of the unit were the leaders of the team. And then you had your captains, obviously, but like each leader of each unit, it was your unit. And then each 9 units play complementary. We win the game. Like, that's our team. Like, coaches were there to teach, to push us, put us in the right positions, but players had to lead on the field. Like, they're not on the field to make the plays for us. We got to make it. So that was the mentality. And then as far as like the different games, like we just had different people that just were just dogs, like I said, and stepped up. Like JT, you could always count on him to just spark us, give us a play, or get us hyped before the game, or get us hyped when we losing. Curtis Grant, Durant Grant, like Tyvis, like it was so many fucking people like to name. Like, I feel like every player on the team was just a dog, backups included. Like, the year we won the Natty, I didn't even play corner for real. Like, I don't think people realize that. Like, I played, like the end of the game sometimes, and then I played that Michigan State game, which I didn't do well. And what's crazy is that game, for example, I didn't play well, but when I got to the sideline, JT picking me up, fucking all the DBs picking me up, the coaches are picking me up. Like, it's like you doing the wrong shit, but it's like we picking you up because we know we confident in you. Like, players is picking up.
Right.
Nobody beating the bush. Like, we gonna make up for it for somewhere else. Like, it was never a point in time where we felt like we was gonna lose. My senior year, the offense wasn't doing what it was supposed to do. We were really good on defense, but we knew, like, if the offense wasn't doing good, we had to score on defense. Like, we just had dogs all over the field. If we were playing bad, the offense was like, we got y'all. Like, it was just some dog shit everywhere, bro. So I just feel like it was just
Y'all did have
I
some dogs that senior year,
got a
boy.
question for you because you was
It's
on the
just
team in
different.
16, correct?
Yeah, that was my last year.
When y'all played that big game when Curtis Samuel scored the game winner.
Yeah,
Had
yeah.
on the black joints.
Man,
Yeah. Okay,
that was
listen.
my favorite game. The rest of the
Exactly.
field, that
Listen.
shit was lit.
So, Berm, you know Berm. Jeremy Birmingham.
Oh yeah, Jeremy.
Right, yeah. You probably call him by his first name. But he told us that when they was going into the locker room and coming out, the energy was just like off. Like one
You talking
person
about
was
this game?
talking.
Just
Yeah,
not-
like at the Michigan game, like at halftime, you said that one person was talking. Like there wasn't a lot of rah-rah going on. It was just like a lot of staring. Like, bring us into what your locker room was like at halftime for that game against the team up north of 16, being in a close game like that. What was the energy and what was the vibe and what was the messages being put and like what was the energy coming back out onto that field after that game? After I'm hearing that basically it was a funeral home.
Yeah.
Coming back into the stadium against the team up north in the biggest game of the year. Like I can't stand it, bro. Like
it's easy.
like, what was y'all halftime like?
Yeah. Shit, our halftime, bro. Like, I remember I think, damn, what coach? One of our coaches was snapping at halftime. It might have been an offensive coach. I just remember somebody, it had to be offense. I remember we were sitting, we always sit on separate sides. I remember we were sitting and we were waiting for our coaches to come talk to us. I think they were going over there, like adjustments or whatever. But one of the offensive coaches, I can't remember who, but I remember they were already over there just going off, going crazy. And as soon as we heard that, it was just like I said, already we were talking about ways that we could pick up the offense or do better. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
We need to score. Like, people were just talking shit. Like, and then at the point in time, I feel like every year that game, whenever we're at halftime, we always said like it's 0-0. Like, we got to go back out there like it's 0-0, no matter what the score is. Like, we treat every play like it's 0-0. That's how we did that game. I mean, we kind of took that mentality mostly during the season or throughout the season, but it was like that game we treated every play like it was 0-0. Like, you got to win this fucking play. That's all that matters. Like, this play matters. But whatever the score is at halftime, like when we come back out, it's 0-0. If the offense ain't doing good, like I said, we got to score. We got to pick this shit up. Like, I feel like the mentality, like I said, all year was like that, but obviously it amplifies in that game. Like I said before, again, we got a fucking clock in the facility, all around the facility. We wait for this game. We do everything for this game. We beat the teams that we beat during the season. We beat their ass to play this game. Like, we preparing for this game. So everything that we do intensifies and amplifies on this game, bro. So I know the fucking locker room was hype. So I already know. But again, man, I don't understand what's going on in that shit. But again, like what I see, it got to be addressed like up front and 100% like true and honest. Like, it just got to be addressed like that. That's the only way you're gonna get the best and the most out of players, bro.
I think the end game for this, and I could just be off my Buckeye rocker. I think the end game for this is we lose coaches, we lose games, and it just takes an entire overhaul of desperation coming out of Ohio State for us to just get back to our roots and get back to what Ohio State football is from the ground up. Because now I feel like the foundation of the program is not championship caliber culture. It's not a championship caliber program. I think that goes to speak for itself with the talent that's come through here since 2000 whatever, especially with what the 2019 team. I mean, we've had 6-7 first round wide receivers, quarterbacks, all of this, and it's like we're not at least winning the Big Ten. Michigan is beating us
that's
on
crazy.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah.
Michigan is
wild.
beating us. They're beating us off disciplined football. They're beating us off of want to. They're beating us off of mentality. They're beating us off of, I'm supposed to reach this person and I'm supposed to do this and I do that every snap. And just consistency week in, week out that we see out in the starts in the practice field, and starts in the classroom. And we don't have that laser focus. We don't have that championship drive anymore from what I see from our team. And I don't know what it is. I don't know if boys, just I don't know, man. I don't know. I don't know. Like I can't explain it. I've never seen it at Ohio State. Like my whole life, I've never seen a team from Columbus that don't have championship culture.
Yeah.
Like I always thought that was Oklahoma and like USC and like them niggas. Like now it's us, and it's like, what the fuck is going on?
It's crazy because I'll be thinking about like my last year, because we didn't go to the Big Ten that year, and because we lost to Penn State,
right?
And then we got whooped 31-0 by Clemson, and I'm thinking about it, and I'm just like, that's not our standard. Like I was pissed. Yeah. Obviously, I'm pissed that we lost to Penn State. I was pissed that we lost to Clemson, especially the way we did. And then that's my last game. But it's like, even with all that, like that wasn't to the standard of Ohio State. But it's just like you couldn't say shit about the culture of that team. You know what I'm saying? Like, like we're talking about the culture of this team. It's not about like them losing. It's about the culture of the team. It's about like what we're seeing, because like we got but when the last time you heard of Ohio State not scoring a point? You know what I'm saying? We lost 31-0, but it's like you won't hear nothing about the toughness of that team. You know what I'm saying? You won't hear nothing about the culture. You'll just be like, look, the offense wasn't doing, they wasn't executing something. You know what I'm saying? You'll say something like that. You won't say they weren't tough. Nigga, you had JT Barrett. You won't say he ain't tough. You can't say that. You know,
like that wasn't trying, or they didn't put it all into it. Like,
we didn't do the expectations. We didn't, you know what I'm saying? But it wasn't like a toughness thing. It wasn't a culture thing. It was just an X's and O's, or it was a lack of execution. Like we didn't meet the standard. So I'm like thinking about it as far as that. Like we're talking about more than just X's and O's and execution. We're talking about like, we ain't got a dog. We ain't got the toughness on the field. We ain't got the dogs on the field or shit like that. Like that's the difference. Like that shit is crazy, because we didn't even go to the Big Ten. But it's like we made sure we knew we weren't going because we lost to Penn State, and then other people had to win and shit. So it's like, what we got to do now? We got to whoop the team up North's ass. You know what I'm saying? We got to make sure we win that game so we do get in the playoffs still. You know?
Yeah.
So it's like, I don't know, man. That, like you said, that shit is just, it's frustrating as shit. I'm just thinking about that now.
Before we get out of here, man, you know, you brought up the 2016 game, and you know, and it was basically because of the offense and everything. And you know, that year I was one of the people saying, man, I do not want us to get into the playoffs, bro, because of that offense, man. It was just the 2016 game against Clemson, man. I just felt like it was putting too much on our defense. And so I want to ask you guys this, and I definitely want to know your answer, Gareon, man. Do y'all want to see the Buckeyes in the playoffs this year? Because I don't.
I mean, of course, I want to see them, but I told kids the other day, I said I don't think that. Well, I didn't say playoffs. I seen the rankings, and I seen somebody post something like, "That's crazy. We lost by 6 points, and they dropped us 4 spots." And I'm like, "No, we deserve to be dropped 4 spots."
Right.
Like, that's how I felt. Like it definitely was like that. So, of course, I just want to see them in the playoffs, but like I said, until they get the shit fixed, they didn't earn that spot to be there. You know what I'm saying? And I don't see it happening anyway. Like I don't see Florida State losing.
Gotcha.
Who else we need to lose? Somebody else.
You need Alabama to lose. You need Texas to lose. Like
Alabama, Texas, Florida State. That's our main.
Like we never been in that. We never been.
But do we want to go to the playoff with?
I don't want to, bro. No.
So he gets had that look on his face.
And then we got
like, bro, I don't want to see that shit, bro.
We got a couple questions for you, man, before we get out of here, man. Gareon, what is the number one thing you think Ryan Day needs to do the most important thing to beat that team up north?
So like, what do I think the most important thing to do to beat the team, or the most important thing he needs to do with the team and to beat the team up north?
I mean, hey, I guess you can give us both because he's not clear.
Well, I mean, like, again, because I like factual shit. I don't know what is going on exactly. I don't know how he coaches. I don't know his philosophies, none of that shit. But I know he needs to change something, and he needs to address shit 100%. I know that's not happening. Like, everything that's going on isn't being addressed fully without being sugarcoated. So that's basically the only thing I think he needs to do. Like, whether if it's towards himself, whether it's towards players, coaches, the whole team, he just needs to make a transparent culture in that fucking facility and get more dogs on the field for sure.
Gotcha.
That's what you can do for sure.
We got another one. Question for Gareon. Will players in your era let team up north?
Fuck no.
Hey, they didn't even have to get through it, man. Y'all know. They ain't playing no flag.
Fuck no. I was pissed when fucking Oklahoma did it. I'm like, man, you gotta be fucked up. Like, what the fuck?
After y'all just took over that trap, that was kind of crazy, bro. Like, that was uncalled for.
I don't care if I get suspended. You ain't doing that, bro. It's a level of respect. Like, fuck no. That shit ain't happening, bro. Like, y'all can talk shit, y'all can say whatever, like words don't fucking, but doing disrespectful shit like that, like, no. Like, I wouldn't even do that. Like,
bro, he called Ryan Day a bitch.
You know what I'm saying? Like that. Who?
Did you see that Maj Morgan?
Oh yeah, talk about Marvin bitch, Ryan Day a bitch. I'm like,
he
man,
had negative 5 yards, bro. but if he said that on live, you know he said it to him.
Yeah. Oh yeah, like, for sure. The fact that he's saying it on live, but like, again, like, I look at things from different perspectives. Like, who the fuck is you? One, like,
yeah,
I don't care. But like, again, though, from the other perspective, it's like, this little nigga probably a dog at heart. You know what I'm saying? Like, need some shit like that. Like, just fuck that shit. He taking that shit serious. And he's a freshman, right?
Yep.
They say he was a freshman. It's like,
freshman. Yep.
Like, again, another perspective. Why is a freshman going crazy talking about that just over the Ohio State Michigan game? Like, it's important to him. You know what I'm saying? Like, he felt that shit. Like, it gotta be that important.
And he can't wait for his turn.
It's a dumbass mistake he made. You know what I'm saying? But it's just like, the mistake he made was just out of his passion for wanting to beat Ohio State. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's the passion niggas need to have. Like, not even just Ohio State, Michigan. I feel like just this generation in general. Like, that's the passion y'all need to be having towards the shit. Like, he even apologized, you know what I'm saying, publicly. Like, you know what I'm saying? Whether he meant it or not, it's just like, he apologized because, like, it was out of character or whatever. But at the end of the day, he did it because it's like, he competitive. He got passion for the shit. If he meant to be disrespectful and all that shit, he wouldn't even apologize or not. He just want to be a fucking dog. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's the type of shit that need to be happening more. Like, I don't understand. It's just weird, man. Generation's weird for sure.
Well, folks, we appreciate you all for watching us with Gareon Conley. Make sure you hit that like and subscribe button. Hey, Gareon, let the people know where they can follow you. And also what you got going down there in Houston, man, because we got some people out here in Texas as well. So let the folks know what you got going on so that they can stay up to date with you, bro.
Yeah. My Instagram is _ all my socials for my personal stuff is _ GConley8. And then I ended up starting a podcast with my cousin, Dejan Bradley. Nice. Different Views podcast. That's just the handle on all the platforms. We got a YouTube channel too. And then I've been training kind of like for 2 years, but the first year I wasn't really doing it. I was just training my stepson and his teammates. But then I started taking it serious probably like last year, and now I'm taking it more serious. I'm getting a couple more kids training out in Siena, Texas. It's like south of Houston, like probably like 30 minutes from the city. So I'm training DBs and wide receivers, and then my cousin, we kind of basically like collab. He got his own training brand and everything, but we just be training doing speed training, agility, movement, strength
That's
training.
also for kids or high school kids or like what age group?
Yeah, we're gonna do we want to get college players, NFL
Mm-hmm.
players, all that shit too. But right now it's just high school, and I think the youngest I do is like 5th grade. I think he does all the way back to like 1st, 2nd grade.
Okay, nice.
Okay.
Yeah, so that's basically what I'm in now. And then I'm back healthy. Just was waiting for a team to hit me up, but I kind of figured it wasn't gonna happen. I haven't played in 3 years, so but I'm probably gonna do the XFL. That's probably what, just so I can get out.
Yeah, you got
film,
get some
Hey,
new tape.
we'll be rooting for you for sure.
Yeah.
Hey man, go out there and kill it, bro. Get you a contract, man.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I'm gonna get back for sure.
Okay.
It's just a matter of when, bro.
Yep.
It's a matter of when.
Put some fire tape out.
Appreciate y'all having me on for sure. Though.
Appreciate you, bro. Always.
We appreciate you, man.
Yep.
Hey.
All right, y'all have a good night.
Yep.
All right, you too. Cam, let the people know where they can follow you at, man.
You can find me at I Know Things 19 on Twitter. I'll be on a Buckeye BS every Sunday at 10 a.m. You can catch me right here with Mike on the Fans Edge and Disney. That's about it, man. Appreciate y'all coming through, man. This has been a long season. It's almost coming to an end to where, we take our little hiatus into the and waiting on spring. I just want to say I appreciate everybody, man, that's been helping this journey come through, especially my Buckeye fans. It's gonna be a rough off season. I won't let y'all know this right now. It's gonna be rough. You know what I'm saying?
We're gonna be here. We're gonna be here.
We're gonna be here. We're gonna try to keep bringing you the content that you love, truthful and from the heart. And I hope to see you all around, man.
For sure. And you can find me on Instagram or Twitter at 216_wildboy. Also catch us Buckeye BS 10 o'clock Eastern time. Make sure you check in with my guys Ron and Q for Buckeye Roast right here on this platform every
morning,
yeah, 8 a.m. bright and early. So while you just sipping your coffee, you should definitely be checking Ron and our guy Q out, man. Disney, let the people know where they can find you.
You can find me on all platforms at Walt K Disney. Hey, we appreciate y'all sticking with us tonight, and let's get to it this weekend. It's about to be a crazy weekend as well, so we'll see what happens.
For sure.
And don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button if you haven't. Please share this video as well. And we appreciate y'all. And with that, anything else, guys?
No,
I
I
think we out.